Gingerbread Man Down, Clean Up on Aisle Podcast.
Welcome back to Clean Up on Aisle Podcast, the dirty truth about grocery stores. I'm your host, Jef Harmatz, joined as always by Adam Fligsten. Hello, Adam.
Hello, Jeff. How's it going?
Good. Well, we have a sort of an unusual episode. Is it maybe our first follow-up, kind of, to a topic we've already hit, maybe?
Yeah.
I had a pitch for the title of the episode, and maybe that will be a way that we can crack into it. And
Okay.
Before I give you that, but speaking of which, I guess we could crack into our
Drink check.
we have both got Bud Light Tall Boys today. The perfect beer to accompany what I would call this episode New York Pizza Date.
All right. I like that. I like that episode.
Good thing you liked it, because if you didn't like it, then we would maybe argue about it and have to come up with a different name. But cheers to New York pizzerias.
New York Pizzeria.
I wish I had thought of this ahead of time, but sitting here and drinking a Tall Boy with you reminds me of the many, 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 many times we drank Tall Boys in New York City, in Brooklyn in particular.
Yeah. Yeah. We hung out at the park. Those are some of the more memorable ones. Do you remember that?
At McGolrick Park, we drank a lot of Tall Boys at McGolrick Park. So I think we drank Tall Boys of Sparks's when we were roommates more.
Yeah.
As Sparks got discontinued, we'd pop out and I don't know, a slice and a Tall Boy of light beer feels really New York to me.
Yeah. There's something about summertime that it's Bud Light or something like this that without much flavor, it's really refreshing. I don't know.
Absolutely. I love it as well. So
It's a hot one today, too.
Here in the high desert, we are in the middle of I think a lot of Southern California is in a heat wave.
It's the hottest day for this day.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm heading into LA for a night this weekend, and I don't think I'm going to be escaping any heat, unfortunately.
Yeah, I looked at the LA. It's pretty similar to what we're at. So
very, very doomy. Feels a little doomed.
I've got a swamp cooler that I'm loving.
Okay.
So that's my new favorite thing.
Is this your first time turning on the swamp cooler?
Pretty much.
Okay.
But I love the fact that I can leave the doors in the windows open and feels like I'm in nature. I'm not in a walled off, closed off, biodome.
Yeah. I mean, maybe we need to explain what a swamp cooler is, but it's I didn't know what it was until I moved to Joshua Tree. It's an evaporative cooler. It doesn't work in humid climates. So it's a really simple machine. It's basically a fan blowing through wet, cold air.
Yep. It's just got little sponges that it dribbles water over, and then it's got a fan that pulls air through the sponges.
Yeah, and it's really inexpensive to run. But as soon as it gets humid, it stops working.
Yeah.
And it's been getting more and more humid in the desert, so people are having their breakdowns a little bit. People without air conditionings, which is pretty common out here, can get wrecked a little bit when in the monsoon season, as it's called.
Okay.
So maybe you can cut this out, but do you have an air conditioner as well?
I do.
Okay. It's a lot cheaper and a lot more natural to run the swamp cooler.
I do. I as long as I can. Of course, there's the savings, but I like the fact that it feels like I got natural air in the house.
Birds chirping.
Coyotes
howling.
Yep.
Looking for your dog.
Yeah. Trying to get at them.
Well, all right. I guess maybe I should introduce this one because I kind of pitched this topic to you, and this is definitely a weirder topic.
Okay.
We did an episode about frozen pizzas already, and that was with our friend Todd Perry.
Oh, that's right.
And we talked about your DiGiorno's, your California Pizza Kitchens pizzas, the store brands, Paul Newman's own, that sort of thing. But this I came across this in my day-to-day work, in my day job. I'm always keeping up on the latest food trends and things like that for working in radio and also for this podcast. But I think that's a bit more micro and we're a bit more maybe macro, if that makes sense.
Sure.
Just as far as my focus is.
Although I did like our dill burrito episode, but we're probably not going to get handed something that's good as often.
I think we will, and I thought that was pretty macro as well.
Yeah.
Being on the radio and we taste a lot of food on the radio. we do a lot of like, I mean, it's what's popular on YouTube right now is people trying the new Oreo flavor, I guess is what I mean, more micro in that sense.
I see.
I mean, I really think that, and again, this is maybe a topic for another episode, but when they start doing all these, like when they do Sour Patch Kid flavor Oreos, or like, I think the big trendy one right now is like the Reese's Peanut Butter Cup Oreos. I think obviously they're fighting for shelf space and like brand expansion gives them more shelf space without introducing a specific new product that is untested in the market. So these collaborations and things like that. But I think a lot of that more novelty and like constant finagling and, you know, changing the cream in the Oreo is to get people on the internet and on the radio to try it. And then that's free publicity.
Sure.
I think more so.
Even if it's bad and everyone hates it, like that's almost better in a way.
Yeah.
It's Nathan Fielder's poop flavor.
100%.
Yeah.
And again, I'm not, you know, here in 2026, I recognize that's mostly YouTube people, but I think a lot of radio people are on that trend as well because it's engaging, popular content that's like very current, very of the moment, and it's fun, and I think people enjoy like being a part of that.
Sure.
But I think that radio is kind of trailing YouTube in that sense.
Wait, why? You think it's behind the time?
I don't think that, you know, in the heyday of shock jockery, Howard Stern was trying Swedish Fish Oreos, you know?
But you are doing that on your...
Oh, we do it on the radio show, but I think that's like, I think YouTube and trying and tasting videos and like unboxing videos kind of pushed the greater culture in that direction.
I see.
So like, we're doing that on the radio, but I'd say that's like, it's not just a YouTube thing. It's not just a radio thing, but I think that's definitely something that's popularized by like 21st century internet.
Sure.
That makes sense.
Got you.
So that's my extremely long-winded way of saying like, that's why I'm kind of like keeping up on like what Eminem is doing or what's going on. And like, we've talked extensively about
what the green M&M is doing.
Well, she's, I try not to, you know, be too creepy with her or start give her space. Yeah. She's the sexy one, right?
I think so.
Okay. You do think that she's sexy, or you think that the green M&M is the sexy one?
Both.
Okay. Did they have to desexify her recently?
Yeah, they did. And Tucker Carlson was all mad about it.
What did they do to desexify?
I think they took off her like boots or something like that, and it's kind of like what they did to Lola Bunny. They kind of softened her curves to some degree.
Okay. Isn't an M&M just a big circle?
Yeah.
So did they just, how do you soften the curve?
Look, I don't know. Eyelashes or something. I have no idea. We should, but I'm pretty sure that was a intentional goal of theirs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I guess if you put the M&M in fuck me boots, then everybody's going to want to fuck the M&M.
Mm-hmm.
And Lola Bunny, I guess the less said about the better. And, you know, I didn't see the new Space Jam, but she's the like girlfriend of Bugs Bunny who wears like short shorts and, you know, she's not bad. She's just drawn that way kind of thing.
Yeah. I mean, she was drawn as a sexy, you know, femme fatale kind of a character. That was part of her personality. And people were very mad about it on the internet, including like I should mention, including like queer people who saw her as a representation and thought like it was you know, whatever. It was a whole cultural thing.
Okay, I mean we're really deep in the well right now, but you know, like a lot of boomers, I think, were very sexually attracted to Bugs Bunny back in the day.
When he
like
put on a dress.
I think so, but even just like the way that he's drawn, like I know Robert Crumb talks about that a lot.
Oh,
I think he's drawn comics about this.
They actually were attracted. Like
Yes.
this is a
100. I don't think it's just Robert Crumb, but I think Robert Crumb's the guy that's writing about it.
right. I mean, right. I mean, there is that whole type of porn that's just like drawn foxes and stuff like that. So I guess
Furry stuff, is that what it's called?
it's related, but
Okay.
not exactly. But I
All
guess that's a proto that.
I guess I'm happy that I don't know like all the ins and outs of that type of imagery on the internet. Yeah, quite the little rabbit hole. All puns intended, and they have desexified the rabbit hole as well. It's just kind of like more of a shapeless oblong tunnel.
Right. It's a escalator.
But like no, when I talk about them putting out new M&Ms, there's like we were planning this today actually. Like they have M&Ms that are like flavored like baked goods and stuff like that. So I think there's like 3 new M&M types, and one of them is like I truly don't know, but I think it's like what's a cake type? Devil's food cake M&M. Sure, there you go. Angel food cake M&M. Nephilim food cake M&M. All the
food
celestial being cakes.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
But so I'm like keeping an eye out for stuff to try, like when they do these variations, when they have novel stuff. And then what I came across in this sense, we did talk about it on my radio show in the morning because I thought it was really interesting, and I have a lot to say about it, and obviously we're going to talk a lot about it. But an iconic, legendary Brooklyn pizzeria, who many people consider to be the very best pizzeria, and not in just Brooklyn, but in New York.
The world.
Yeah, possibly the world. Yeah, I mean, if you're the best in New York, you're in the running for the best in the world.
Yeah.
And the guy that did it, Dom, I think his name was.
Dom
DeFara passed away.
When did he pass away?
2022.
Okay.
And I think we talked about him. I was like, oh, Dom's gone. And the family just announced that they're doing a line of frozen pizzas with his photo on the back of the box.
So before we get into the frozen pizza.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So much to unpack just with that.
I remember vividly, I was living in New York, and you saying, yeah, I waited 2.5 hours for some pizza, and I was on a train for like 50 minutes to get there, and I was like, "You are fucking nuts." I laughed about it. I was like, "There's a pizza place right up the street. I could crawl there," and I thought it was so dumb and funny. And I also ate cheese at that point. In hindsight, I really regret not going.
Really?
Yeah, because I remember. Even before this whole thing, I remember afterward being like, "Damn, that was probably the best pizza I could have had." And I had an opportunity. Not you didn't. I mean, whatever. I was living there, and I didn't go. And I laughed about it.
That's why, like, I mean, so when we were living in New York, you and I lived in Bushwick. I know you were in Bushwick before me, and then we were in Greenpoint. And that was me, the early days of me becoming a foodie, and like, it's hard not to be a foodie when you live in New York. However, the entire time I lived in New York, I was dirt poor. I had no money. And so the food tourism that I tried to engage in was like the more inexpensive kind. I wasn't going to like Michelin-starred restaurants. But the nature of my job at the time, like my first job, I was commuting from Bushwick to like Coney Island. And that meant that you took a 20-minute train into Manhattan and then an hour train back into a different part of Brooklyn, from Brooklyn. And then when I did newspaper stuff in Queens, it took me 2 buses to get to work. And then if I needed to go to a far place to cover a story, I'd get on another bus. So like traveling was less of a concern for me in those years. Like I was like, if it's in New York, I will go to it. I don't really care how far it is at this point.
Right.
If that makes sense.
Sure.
And Dom's, DeFara's was where we were in Brooklyn, really hard to get to.
Yeah.
It was in a neighborhood where you probably would have to take a train into Manhattan, then a train back into a different part of Brooklyn. It was not an easy place to get to.
Yeah.
If I could tell you a story about I joke about this a lot. You remember the show 30 Rock?
Yes.
Did you ever watch 30 Rock?
Yeah, of course.
There's an episode where the Teamsters that work on the show get these particular sandwiches. And the main character, played by Tina Fey, somebody eats her sandwich because she's out of the office that day, says, "You have to get me the sandwich." But the Teamsters will not say where the sandwich is from. And it's like the secret best ever sandwich in New York, and nobody knows where the Teamsters get it from. So a lot of the food blogs and journalists at the time in New York were like, we got to figure out if this is based on a real thing, and if it's based on a real thing, where's the sandwich?
Okay.
And they tracked it, they like pinpointed it to a deli in maybe Jersey City.
Okay.
Maybe it was Newark.
Yeah.
The only ever time I went to New Jersey was to go get that sandwich. I said, I have a day off.
Yeah.
I'm going to take the PATH train and walk around in a state I've never been to get this particular sandwich from the show.
And how did that, we'll talk about DeFara's in a bit, but how did the sandwich hold up?
It was pretty good. It wasn't like, it was a very interesting and good and unique sandwich. It wasn't what I love about Italian sandwiches personally.
Was there a line out around the block because of this article?
I don't think so. Okay. It was very hard to get to. It was there like a New York venue that Tom Sharpling always talked about?
Yeah.
What was
I forget the name, but it was in Jersey City.
I think it was near that.
Okay.
Like I remember like kind of walking past it. And again, I had no money to do anything else. I'm just like, I have a day. I will like spend 5 hours getting this sandwich because what else am I going to fucking do? I got no money. I'll spend $11, $10 on the sandwich and the money on the PATH train and come back. And there you go. I'm still talking about it, 20 years later.
Sure.
The only time I went to New Jersey was for the 30 Rock sandwich.
You would not have been talked about it if you had gone up the street for a sandwich.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So what was your relationship with pizza in New York?
So I ate cheese. So I ate a lot of pizza. And the thing about Brooklyn is there is a pizza place on, I would say maybe every other block, at least where there's, some amount of businesses. Not all of them are exceptional though. And you learn that pretty quickly that the one that is the closest to you might be amazing, but it might be real run of the mill or kind of whack. So the only pizza that I still think about was in downtown Brooklyn, and I've looked up the place. It's since closed. And it was a pretty known place. It was like right across from the courthouse, I think, in downtown Brooklyn. And this pizza was fucking incredible. So I would take the train one stop from Fat Beats, where I was working, Dumbo, into downtown Brooklyn just to get that pizza on my lunch break, and I would go back. It's hard to describe what made it so perfect, except it was just the perfect blend of everything. It was just perfectly balanced. I don't know. It's exceptional.
Do you remember what it was called?
I could find it, but no, I don't. Not off the top. It's closed now.
And again, a lot of the pizza places like don't have exceptional names. Like there's sometimes like Mario's too.
Yeah, something like that.
A lot of Mario's pizza places.
Yeah. There's a famous one. Anyway, there's a famous one on 6th Avenue that everybody talks about. Ray's. And there's
the original Ray's?
Well, that's the thing. It's like the Gray's Papaya. There's a lot of dispute about where the original Ray's is. But yes, I think I went to the other Fat Beats was near the original Ray's, which was on the second floor on 6th Avenue.
Okay.
And it was pretty good. It wasn't as good as this place in Brooklyn, but it was pretty good.
Did you ever take me to that place?
I don't think I did.
Okay. Keeping your secret pizza places to yourself.
Yeah.
I remember, so I think right when I moved in with you in Bushwick in 2006, you might have to correct me, but I think like I had just gotten in, like I got in late at night, I woke up and you're like, let's get some food at a place. And we went to probably like one of those kind of not so good restaurants where it's like chicken and pizza as well. And I got a slice of pizza there and I was like, this isn't that good.
Yeah.
It was not really the kind of place to be getting that sort of thing. But I think there needs to be food happening right now because there's a lot to do. And this is like one of the closer places to where you live.
Right.
So
that seems right.
My first impression of the pizza was like a little underwhelming, which is fine. We moved into a place together in Bushwick and it didn't feel that old school. It felt like it was built in the 80s. That place on Knickerbocker.
There was a place that Ted used to go to.
Yeah, did you go there as well?
Yeah, I did.
And I remember thinking that was quite good. I knew it wasn't excellent, but I'm like, this is pretty darn good.
For being like 2 blocks away, it was definitely really good.
And then, I started working near Coney Island. I started working in Queens in this very Italian neighborhood called Maspeth and kind of getting more into eating better pizza. I mean, when you'd go into Manhattan, you'd try and I never got that much slices in Little Italy, but you kind of worked closer to Little Italy, right?
Little Italy is like it's like the way Chinatown is in Los Angeles, where it's kind of a pretend version of something that used to be, and the actual Chinatown is in San Gabriel Valley. Like that's kind of what Little Italy is. I mean, there's good places, but it's not necessarily the place to go. But yes, I did get some pizza there. It was fine.
I think like there was like maybe one of the original John's or Johnny's was in Little Italy, but I went to one of the places that considered to be like the original like John's famous. I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah. There was a place, I think it was right on the edge of Little Italy, where it was $1 slice and it was known. And that was like when you get out of the club, you go there for $1 slice. And it was good. For $1 slice, it was exceptional. And it might even be the place, I'm sorry to bring his name up, that Louis C.K. goes to at like the beginning of that TV show.
Yes. I think I know what you're talking about. It's in the little title credits sequence there. So I'm trying to figure out the specific timeline, but I'll say that like I have one particular pizza place I want to give a big shout out to. But I remembered there was a very specific day. I was very hungover. It was after I was living in Greenpoint. And after a wild night out, I'm like, I'm staying in bed. I'm not getting out until 2 in the afternoon. What am I going to do in bed? And it's become one of my favorite websites, a transformational website in my life. And I would call it really one of my first experiences with proper food journalism. It was a part of Serious Eats, and it was called Slice. Mm-hmm. And I don't think it wasn't one of those places where I'm going to try all of the pizza in New York, but they were writing thoughtfully about pizza, like slice joints and Italian places. And I think, all puns intended, I'm going to use the pun, I devoured every bit of content. I think I stayed in bed for 4 hours just reading that as I'm hungover Saturday or Sunday.
Yeah.
Did you ever read that website?
A little bit, not as compulsively as you did, but I do remember around that time, also a Best Show thing. Tom Scharpling had some musician on, and he had written a zine about pizza, and it was very popular, quite popular. Or maybe he had a blog, and then whatever. It was so novel at that time for someone to be so obsessed and serious about something like that they talked about it at length.
Yeah, it was because it was at the time there's one of these in every block. Who cares? Some of them are better than others. Mm-hmm. There's some really good ones, but that was, I don't want to say it was the genesis of food blogging period, but for me noticing it in New York, that was people writing about a type of food that was accessible to me. It wasn't, oh, we're gonna go to the Michelin starred restaurants or have our 7-course tasting meal. They're writing seriously about pizza that's I could get on my way home from work. That won't cost more than $3, $4 for a slice. So Slice was the blog, and I think it folded into Serious Eats at some point. They had a burger one as well that I enjoyed, but the pizza one really spoke to the New Yorkiness of it.
Maybe this is a tangent, but do you think Jonathan Gold was the reason for this type of writing, for people to take affordable food seriously?
I think so. I mean, he's generally credited that way. I was right out of college, and I was not reading as much about food. I started reading about food in New York, and Jonathan Gold was obviously writing about Los Angeles. So I would imagine so, but I wouldn't say I wouldn't feel definitively. Did you ever read much Jonathan Gold?
No, when he passed, I started to pay attention to him, but no, I was not there. Actually, no, even before then, one of our mutual friends was a big fan and would always go to places that he would recommend.
Okay. My maybe another topic for another day, but my mom is always trying to eat through his list of 100 restaurants to eat in LA. They keep it and they check them off.
Yeah.
And when they update it, they're like, okay, we got a few more to go to.
Sure.
My parents are very into doing that, which I have a lot of respect for.
That's cool.
My mom, another tangent, she has her own list. She has a spreadsheet of all the pancakes in Los Angeles, and she is trying to find the best pancakes. And she's
got to blog that. Blog that motherfucker. A lot of people would love to have that data, hard data.
That's how a great food writer in LA, I think he's in San Francisco now, but Farley Elliott started. He moved to LA and he just started keeping a spreadsheet of which taco trucks he liked.
Okay.
And I think he went on to, be the editor of Eater. I think he's a pretty renowned journalist these days.
There you go.
But yeah, Slice. It was accessible food that I could read about and try for myself. This was around the time when, because people were perhaps writing about pizza slices more seriously, there were actually people who were in that conversation opening up pizza places that were meant to be taken more seriously. Mm-hmm. The first of which was very convenient for a job I had at the time. It was called Artichoke.
Okay.
I think it was it was in the East Village. Mm-hmm. And wasn't too far off the L train. It might have even been on 14th Street. Mm-hmm. And it was the first, we're a slice joint, but we're doing kind of higher end slices. And that felt really novel to me. And I would go there a lot. And
how high end is high end?
It was more expensive for the neighborhood at the time. And they were doing a bit of it wasn't specifically a New York style pie. I'm going to try
arugula and honey and stuff that.
No, they did a classic tomato and cheese one. And then they did an artichoke slice, which was the artichoke dip that you would get covered in cheese, instead of the sauce. Okay. And they were bigger slices and they were more expensive, but they were really fun and good. And I felt like I was in on something when I was kind of going there. I think they opened up a like roast beef stand a couple years later, and like that was me. Like I felt like I was part of the pizza conversation in New York a little bit, just because I was going to some of these places.
Cool.
Yeah. Did you ever like hit up any of the places recommended by blogs?
No, not for pizza. I mean, I would generally try to get like what is the best affordable, and like but I was looking for just the most classic New York. I did not almost explicitly did not want a place that felt it was new and novel and gentrified kind of a thing.
Okay.
I wanted something that was classic, like which would have been DeFara's, but I didn't go.
Yeah. Artichoke was definitely gentrifier's pizza.
Yeah.
100. No shade to them. I really enjoyed it. I went there a lot, but yeah, that was gentrification pizza.
Mm-hmm.
So getting into Slice, and one thing they kept coming back to, they would compare all the other pizzas to this place, Fara's, which I'm really bad with the neighborhoods in Brooklyn.
Bensonhurst, I thought. Could be wrong.
Midwood section. Actually.
Oh, okay, Midwood. Okay.
It was on Avenue J in Midwood, the neighborhood in Brooklyn, which I'd never been to.
Yeah.
We didn't know anybody in Midwood. So
It's in a part of Brooklyn that you would only go if you lived there, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And again, really far from us. But they kept saying that the pizza at Fara's is the best pizza in the city. This is for the opinion of, hipsterati or whatever, and the writer class. Like, we know people who grew up in New York who would say that's not the best pizza, and this is the best pizza. And the people, they're not recommending bad places. The pizzas they're recommending are great, but like Anthony Bourdain said that Fara's was the best pizza. Bill de Blasio, the recent mayor of New York, said that's the best pizza. Like, a lot of the food bloggers, a lot of the consensus was like, people can agree on Fara's being the best pizza.
And it was known that you were going to have to wait.
Yes. Once the pizza blogosphere, like once people were writing about it, there definitely became like, this is the pizza to try. And like, I think a lot of the people who were waiting were getting the whole pizza. Like, you would go in and say, like, give me like 2 whole pizzas that I can take back to my friends.
Okay.
You didn't have to wait as long to get a slice.
Okay.
I think I like actually like called in sick that day of work because like my job took me to a lot of far-flung places in New York, like far from Greenpoint, far from where I lived. But I mostly worked in Queens and like North Brooklyn where we lived. So I think I was just like hungover, and if you're noticing the trend there. But I think I called out sick, and I'm like, I'm just going to like do the pizza today. And this is the pizza everybody's talking about. Let's pop down. I took, 2 trains and a bus to get there, whatever it took. And I think I spent the day in Prospect Park because it wasn't too far from Prospect Park. But Prospect Park, another area that we didn't get to that much. We had friends that would say, come to Prospect Park. But I went to Midwood, and all right, here's the thing. And I'm still this way. I took the day off work because I said I cannot bear to go at a normal time and wait in line. So I said I will take a day off work and go like at an off hour to get the pizza so I don't have to wait that long in line.
Or what was an off hour for you?
Probably knowing how I am, I probably went at like 10:30. I went like probably 20 minutes after it opened so that I wasn't waiting for it to open, but I got there before the lunch rush. That's how I played stuff. And still do to this day.
But did you have to wait?
I believe I had to wait, but not that long. Like I definitely didn't wait an hour for it. Or I maybe waited 20 minutes.
Okay.
It wasn't one of the long memorable waits. I remember waiting for ramen a lot longer than that.
And what was the first name of Fara?
Dom.
Dom?
Yes.
And you saw Dom?
Yeah, so let's get into his. Well, I'll tell you what I saw, and then we'll talk about his biography and stuff. But part of the thing about going to Fara's was that you get there and it looks like a classic but not well kept 60s pizza shop. Built in the 60s. I remember it being like yellow and brown, like little speckled tiles and stuff. Like, it's not an aesthetically pleasing place. It's really teeny tiny. There was not that many chairs there. I I was reading somebody describing it, and they said that it was just like the unused pizza boxes were just like stacked up against the wall. Like it was not a thoughtfully designed space.
Right.
In what we would think of that in 2026.
Right.
But the appeal of it was that he was the only guy that worked there. So I don't know how old he would have been in 2019. He was born in 1936.
2019.
I'm sorry, 2009, 2008.
Right.
So we're talking 70 years old.
Yeah, I remember you describing him as pretty old at that point.
Yeah, he had been known for having made all of the pizzas for decades at this place. And he, kind of hunched over, wearing classic pizza guy outfit, white, coveralls and stuff. He'd putter around and he'd put the pizzas in the oven, and this famous thing would he'd have a basil plant in the window that he would cut leaves off and put it on the pizzas.
Cool.
And then sprinkle olive oil on all the stuff. And if you read about him, you wouldn't know this by going there, but he was very particular about his ingredients. He imported his tomatoes and his mozzarella from Italy. And he got his basil and his other herbs, I forget, maybe oregano, from Israel. All was imported. So he's just puttering around making his pizzas. And if you didn't know that it was considered to be a classic pizzeria, you wouldn't say, this is the great pizzeria, this is the master.
Right.
But you watch him do it while you wait. And you see him, and he's putting so much love and care into every single pizza. And by the time I went there, 2008, 2009, they're coming out a little lopsided. There's some little burn marks, maybe a bit more burn marks than you want. And I think I got 2 slices, and I think I sat in the place and ate them, and they were very excellent.
Yeah.
It is. I'm sure I told you about this, but it's pizzeria pizza. It's
Sure.
the best possible version of a pizzeria pizza.
Yeah.
It's not Neapolitan style. It's it feels like a very slightly elevated but just perfectly executed version of what you get at a slice joint.
Right.
And I thought, this is fantastic. And I see why this is considered the platonic ideal of New York pizza slice.
Right.
That makes sense.
Yeah, totally.
You see the love go into it. There's nobody else working there. It's this guy who's doing it because he loves it.
Yeah.
And it's fantastic. Was it worth me taking a day off work and going? Maybe not, but
I think yes.
Yeah.
Because we're talking about it now, and it's an experience that you will remember for the rest of your life.
absolutely.
Yeah.
We know people who would go a lot more than I went, who lived in that kind of area, who would do the thing where you go and you put in your order and you're yeah, having a party. I want 3 DeFara's pizzas and I'll come back in 3 hours.
Yeah.
So that was, I think, how people usually treated the place, as less of a slice joint and more of it's a special occasion. I'm going to do the thing. I'll tailgate it at, DeFara's and get a beer and hang out in the park while I wait for him to make my pizza.
Sure.
But it was great. It was, I'm really glad I did it. And I wasn't I didn't weep at the pizza. I guess I want to say.
It was, yeah. Jiro dreams of pizza.
Yeah, it was really, and I think part of it, and when I was researching it today, a lot of people said it was a little theatrical. Nobody else was keeping their little basil bush in the window and trimming it with the scissors and, making it all one guy making all the pizzas and stuff like that. A little bit of history about the man, real quick. He was born in 1936. Domenico DeMarco is his name. I don't know where the DeFara came from. He was from the province of Caserta in Italy, moved to America in 1959 and opened DeFara Pizza in 1965. And he just came over and opened a pizza place. He's that's where they decided to do it. His original business partner's name was Farina. So DeMarco and Farina is where you get DeFara.
Okay.
And he just never stopped making pizza. A guy makes it for so long, you're going to be able to master it, I think.
Well, if you care.
Yeah, and he definitely cared about it.
Yeah.
You could tell watching him make the pizzas that he really did care.
Yeah.
So, hence my surprise, and I guess this is the meat of the episode, when it was announced that DeFara's Pizza is coming to grocery stores everywhere.
Yeah.
Frozen variety.
Yeah.
And he died in 2022, and it seems in the 4 years after he's died, they've got those frozen pizzas on the store shelves.
Have you done any research about the family?
So there's nothing really about this. It's definitely like the family, and it's his legacy. And I have the pizza box, and we can take a look at it. A big picture of Dom on the pizza box.
Okay.
What's that?
I would love to see it.
Oh, they have them on the website. There's the pizza place on the box. But read that copy on that box.
Okay.
Sorry, read that copy. There's on the back of the box.
Yeah. A Brooklyn legend, established 1965. Dominic DeMarco left Italy for Brooklyn, where he opened a modest pizzeria in 1965. Half a century later, his pizza, with his signature crust and basil, is rightly hailed as a New York institution and is a permanent fixture on the, quote, best pizza lists. Now try his family recipe for yourself from the comfort of your home.
They do have his photo on the website a lot. I thought they had it up.
Well, they have the pizza.
Yeah.
What's that quote right there? The Holy Grail.
The Holy Grail of New York style classic pizza, New York Magazine. And then they said, as reviewed by Dave Portnoy, of course, 9.4.
But they're talking about the original DeFara's, right?
Yes, they're not talking about the frozen pizza. So, all right.
And you have not tried this yet.
I did. So,
Okay.
I've cooked it before I came.
Yeah.
I did it chopped style because, like, you're familiar with the show Chopped?
Sure.
They taste the food off camera right before it is done being cooked so they can try it when it's hot. And then they eat more of it on the show. So you got to try it if that's
Sure. I get it.
I barely judge it.
That's fair.
So we do have pizzas with us today. And I know I want to talk about the pizzas that you brought as well.
Sure.
But I am obsessed with everybody cashing in on the work of a master.
Right. Like Jiro's family is going to start a sushi restaurant.
As soon as Jiro dreams of sushi dies, his family's going to dream of big $1 billion buku stuff, and you're going to be able to get frozen sushi at Ralph's.
Yeah.
I'm obsessed with this guy. This is a bit of a tangent as well. I saw a meme of somebody posting the original herbs and spices of KFC. Are you familiar with this guy online?
No.
It's my favorite online guy right now. He is the great-grandnephew of Colonel Harlan Sanders, who invented KFC.
Sure.
And he's really mad at KFC.
Okay.
He thinks that the food is bad. He thinks, in particular, he was treated particularly badly at a Kentucky Fried Chicken in Kentucky. And he says, and I go on that line and I tell them that my family was treated badly, and they had blocked me. And he always mentions that KFC has blocked him, and that he can't talk to KFC on Twitter and on Instagram. They blocked him. And he has shared the original recipe. He's mad that they're sexualizing his Uncle Harlan. Because KFC does the commercials with like hot Colonel Sanders now.
Yeah, I think Reba played.
Yeah.
But now he's a muscle hunk. Okay.
Very disrespectful to his uncle.
All right.
He is a Kentucky Colonel, which is an honorary thing that the state gives to people who've contributed to Kentucky heritage. And he has started dressing and looking more and more like his great uncle Harlan, Colonel Sanders. So he's trying to grow the beard and the mustache.
Cool.
He wants everybody to watch him do Fortnite on YouTube when he's not discharging herbs.
That's how we all earn our money these days.
And he's like, we just think that KFC should like hand it back to him.
Or he's proven that he deserves it.
As the last remaining Sanders in the line.
Who wears the clothes?
I think he's the last male Sanders.
Oh, I see.
He started wearing the white suit and he's going around the little soul patch in the mustache.
Oh, I kind of love this. This is like this is like Eastbound and Down kind of storyline. I love this.
And like I've seen him do some cooking videos. He's really bad at cooking, but he's just like really indignant about this one particular KFC. He's indignant that the company has blocked him from their social media accounts and they can't talk directly to them. And he keeps giving out the secret family recipe. And he keeps giving you proof about why this is the actual family recipe. Harlan Sanders gave it to his brother, who passed it down through his generation's line. And this is the real recipe, not any other recipe.
So these are all the herbs and spices.
Yes.
And it's normal stuff, right? Like garlic powder.
Yeah, it's like cake flour and garlic powder and cayenne and coriander and stuff like that. There's nothing too wild.
Yeah.
But I just like, when I start seeing the DeFara's family, and again, they must be very nice people, and Dom seemed very nice and sweet, and I don't want to disparage the family who might still be mourning their patriarch or whatever.
It's been 4 years.
Yeah, but it's not just I think expanding into frozen pizzas is like, as a guy, Dom DeMarco, who is like, I make every pizza by hand and I take such pride and joy in making these individual pizzas, for them to slap his name onto a bunch of frozen pizzas feels like really insane and like kind of disrespectful, I guess.
Yeah. It literally is I can't think of something. I mean, maybe like if it was sold at 7-Eleven, maybe that would be the only thing that could be worse.
Yeah. And again, just to like give some credibility to the family. Again, I'm not here to disparage anybody in the family or whatever, but Dom did bring other family members into the business. From what I've read today, he often, like, it would be closed if he wasn't able to work there, but there were other people making the pizza with him. He was like obviously trying to train some people up.
Sure. Is it still open? Do you know?
DeFara's is still open, so they've actually expanded not just into the frozen pizzas. They opened up a hoagie shop and are starting. I think there's 2 more DeFara's in Manhattan.
Okay.
At like one at the South Street Seaport, which is kind of a Molly area a little bit.
Yeah.
And I read some reviews and they said one of them is very good and one of them is not so good.
Okay.
And I think the very good one actually might have closed. And then there's also a sandwich shop that bears the DeFara's name, which says we sell Dom's original subs that he used to sell at his pizza recipe or his pizza restaurant before he stopped doing the subs, and they're his original recipes as well. Okay. And I read review from, I have the review right here. It is Sistema, I think his name is. I might be under this. Doesn't matter, but a Robert Sistema for Eater New York said that they were like pretty good.
Maybe I'm being unfair to recipes in general, but when you cook, there's so much subtlety to like the color of the brown or like the heat that the pan needs to be before you put the thing on or whatever else. There's so much subtlety, and I understand that you could write that down in a book theoretically, but just getting some guy's recipes, that's not the thing.
Absolutely. I mean, again, as a guy who's sold recipes before, the recipe is important and you should protect your recipes, and like that's a big key, but it's about understanding how things work in the kitchen and having the experience. And in the instance of pizza, I mean, I don't know if this is like the thing to live your life by, but there's the Malcolm Gladwell adage that you have to spend like 10,000 hours at a thing before you really master it. And you can't give that so you can't just say, oh, I have the 10,000 hours, so now I'm going to tell it to you in like 25 hours, you know?
Yes.
You can't condense that 10,000 hours and give it to somebody else. Like that person has to have the 10,000 hours too.
Right.
And also that 10,000 hours, you can't translate it into an industrial pizza making factory that ships it out.
Well, I'm assuming that you are saying that after you've tried it. Would you have said that before you tried it?
Yes. I would say.
I'm just saying. Yeah. I'm just saying. Maybe they pulled off a miracle.
I mean, do you want my?
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about? Let's talk about this pizza right now.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
So I did take some pictures of it opened in before. I did try it hot out of the oven. Are you gonna try sliced or maybe just some crust or pull some cheese?
I'll try some crust. I'll try some crust.
There we go. And I do have my receipt from getting it. And acquiring this was a bit of a challenge as well. But
yeah, we'll talk and the cost.
What?
And the cost. We'll
and
talk
the cost.
Yeah.
So yeah, here is that pizza.
Okay.
It's a little mangled.
Can you pick up a slice and hold it like right here? Okay. Good. Yeah. How's it? It's been maybe like 40 minutes since you cooked it.
Closer to an hour.
How's it hold up?
It's held up. I think it's a little bit better.
Interesting.
Since it's been chilled out. It feels a little bit more New York pizzeria because New York
slices are like reheated on lamps and stuff.
And all right, just cutting to the chase, I think it's very good.
Yeah.
It's not like what I remember DeFara's pizza being like.
Okay.
It's a very good frozen pizza,
yeah,
despite some flaws.
Yeah.
It was very expensive, so for what I paid for it, it better be fucking good.
How expensive was that?
$10.59 for a frozen pizza.
Oh boy, you do not want to know how much I spent on mine. That doesn't seem that bad to me.
All right. So this is a Target exclusive.
Okay.
As we've talked about a lot, I had to go out of my way to go get this at Target. Mm-hmm. It was not the most expensive frozen pizza they had at Target. Mm-hmm. I have my phone under the pizza now. There's my phone. I did take some pictures of the more expensive pizzas at Target, and I'm curious if you're familiar with any of these brands.
Okay.
You'll have to give me 1 second to scroll backwards.
I should say that I think it was Serious Eats or one of those things claimed that Target's Good and Gather store-bought pizza is one of, if not the best, store-bought pizza you can get.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it's imported from Italy, and they said they rated it very highly.
So do I have the cost here? There was a Katie's Pizza.
Okay.
And a Pizza Antica is the brand that was $15.89 for a frozen pizza.
$16.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So
again, you don't want to know how much I spent for this episode.
Okay.
I mean, I'll tell you when we get to my thing, but
well, here's a pizza. Help yourself.
I'll take that crust. I don't mind. I don't mind your germs.
It was a little too crispy right out of the oven.
Okay.
But I think it has gotten.
It's very good crust.
Yeah, it's a very good frozen pizza, but because of the necessity of like a frozen pizza, like it's smaller and it feels more like a Neapolitan style, which is like what you get more out of a wood-fired oven and stuff. Whereas a New York slice is usually like a pretty big slice of pizza because they're like you're selling it for like $3, $4. Tavares was actually the first pizza place to cross the $5 barrier for a slice. They were the first place ever to charge $5.
Interesting.
For a slice of pizza.
Honestly, it's very. I'm very impressed. I mean, maybe I'm just hungry, but if you had, this is maybe the best frozen pizza crust, and that's all that I've ever had.
But my partner, she had a slice before I came in. If you want her review of it, she said she couldn't resist having a few more bites. Love the undercrust. The edge bit of the crust is a bit too thick for me, but the undercrust is nice and thin.
See, I like the thick.
Yeah, she's into this. Like, I guess if you got $11 to spend on a frozen pizza. They had a bunch of, so this was the type of pizza. This is the mozzarella, parmesan, basil, and tomato sauce. This is the one that Dom did. You could get this with like pepperoni or whatever, but he wasn't doing like all the like square slices and like the vodka slices and stuff, the grandma slices that other pizzerias were doing.
He was just doing straight up pizza.
Yes. I think you could order it with mushroom or sausage or whatever.
Sure.
They have this in a vodka variety.
Oh, so you're saying that they have more variations than he had?
I believe so, yes. Okay. They had like a meat lovers one. Like they're definitely like pushing it beyond the scope of the thing.
Which is also, it's a small thing, but it's very not, it just doesn't fit with the ethos. Like just have just have one pizza. If you're claiming that this is the one,
they shouldn't.
Then just fucking nail that one.
No, I don't. As far as I know, I never had a vodka sauce pizza in this place. But you can buy it.
Yeah.
And some of it looked good, but I'm like, let's just keep it pure and simple.
Sure.
To Fara's. So I guess it's a thumbs up to the frozen pizza.
Was it $11?
$11. Drive to Target only.
It doesn't seem crazy to me, honestly.
Okay.
For the price, I was expecting more than that.
Yeah. Okay. And we should say that Tafara's is not the first legendary New York pizza restaurant to go into the frozen section as well. The first one I ever was aware of was Roberta's.
Oh, okay.
Which was definitely gentrification pizza, a hipster pizza restaurant opened in East Williamsburg during the time we lived there. Generally regarded, they did pizzas that were more like this, like the Neapolitan style, where you get like a 6-slicer and they bring the whole thing out to you on a plate and things like that.
Yeah.
And that's your hot honeys and your fig and prosciutto pizzas and stuff.
Arugula.
I have to say, when it opened, I thought it was too pretentious and too fancy for me.
Okay.
I never went the entire time I lived in New York. I started seeing
spit on the ground when you passed by.
I wasn't like mad about it, but I'm like, that's an expensive place. That's not a place for me. And here in Joshua Tree, there's a pretty serious Bushwick to Joshua Tree Pipeline.
Yeah, interesting. You're right.
Some of the bar owners who were opened a lot of bars in Bushwick came out here and started opening a bar or two and opening up a shop that sells some Brooklyn goods. So we started seeing Roberta's frozen pizzas at a few of our higher end.
That's the shop next. We'll talk about that shop next.
I saw these Roberta's pizzas. And I'm like, I guess Roberta's is big. So I went back to New York a couple of years ago since I've been living in the desert and everybody wanted to go to Roberta's. And I guess I'm going to Roberta's. And I went. I had a really fun time. And I thought the pizza was excellent.
There you go.
So I would love to admit when I'm wrong. Happy to admit.
Have you gotten the frozen one since?
No, it's pretty expensive.
Yeah. But now you have to, because you just talked about it. Then you have to. So you give it, let's say out of 10. What would you give it for frozen? Well, okay, we'll do out of 10 for any pizza, and then we'll do out of 10 for frozen.
Any pizza? I mean, I'd rather have a fresh Domino's than
You'd rather have a fresh?
No, I don't know. This is good, but I like. It's hard for me to rank a home frozen pizza on the range of like anything else. Like,
okay,
a hot personally made pizza is way different than a frozen pizza for me.
Okay,
I can't rank them in a fair way.
All right, then
as far as frozen pizza,
yeah.
I quite like this. I would give it a 8 or 9.
Okay,
it's very good. I would be interested in trying the other versions.
Sure,
and I will go back and get it. So shout out to the DeForest family.
Shout out to DeForest. It probably will be, well, who knows? I'm curious if it'll be successful. They probably have some weird venture fund behind all of this.
It'll get worse, I'm sure.
We'll just sucking any life out of what might have been there.
We're gonna get a hot, sexy Dom DeMarco on the pizza and on the box, and they'll be doing like buffalo chicken pizza and barbecue chicken pizza and stuffed crust from DeFara's and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I mentioned to you that I had this weird pizza thing, and you said you had a weird New York pizza thing too.
Well, right. Because, and I did mention this the last time we did the frozen pizza episode. It is basically the only vegan frozen pizza that I actually like. Mm-hmm. And there's some that I will even buy occasionally just because it's easy food, but I don't actually like them. Mm-hmm. So this is the one that I think is up to the standard that I would serve other people and feel relatively confident.
All right.
Right? It's called Blackbird Pizza.
Yes.
I've tried a number of the different recipes. At a regular grocery store, it's usually about 10, maybe $11.
Okay.
Which, again, was a bit of a price, and it's smaller than your pizza too.
Sorry, let me put this away. It's very foily.
No, it's okay.
I don't want to keep eating it, and if it's in front of me, I'll keep eating it.
Yeah. It's smaller than your pizza too. And that was a bit of a sticker shock at one point, but I got way over that sticker shock. So
this is, hold on. They do sell this at a Ralph's, at a Kroger, at a Safeway,
not at a Stater Brothers or a Walmart or a grocery outlet or a Vons.
Nothing near us is what you're saying.
Yeah, except for a very boutique place that happens to be next to a bar.
Okay.
You want to know how much I spent on them?
Might as well tell me.
$22.50.
Okay. And how much is it at a normal place?
$10.
Okay. Well, if they're driving them up from down the hill.
Yeah.
There you go.
You do not have to try it if you don't want.
I would really want to try it.
It doesn't look like.
It doesn't look like what I thought it was going to look like.
No,
it looks good.
It doesn't look great.
So this has got pepperonis on it.
Yeah. It's got pepperonis there, Beyond Meat pepperonis.
Okay.
It's got some kind of cheese, and yeah, that's it. Vegan cheese. This is all vegan. It's okay.
I like it.
Honestly, I would zhuzh it up. I would put a little more salt on it. I'd maybe drizzle some olive oil on this if I were eating it at home.
It's Beyond Pepperoni, you say?
Mm-hmm.
It's my first time having Beyond Pepperoni.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they nailed the trashiness of pepperoni.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't get into pepperoni until I was like too old, because I'm like, when I was a little kid, I was like, this is too trashy for me to eat. And I know I really loved it. It's like oily and greasy, and like it's got like a top tasting funk to it.
Mm-hmm.
Like But I think this is quite good.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's definitely not worth $22. It's probably worth $10, especially if you're vegan. You can't really have that much other stuff. So the company's history is not that interesting. I did some research about it. They're headquartered in Long Island City, so they're in New York, whatever. It's founded by a guy named Mike Pease who had a vegan restaurant in New York that closed during COVID, and then he met some other guy who was kind of like a businessy kind of guy, and they got some venture capital money together, and they founded this sort of vegan company. And they also do, which is interesting that they're using Beyond, because they also have their own fake meat products as well.
Do they have a pepperoni?
No, I guess not.
It's not an endorsement of their own pepperoni if they're using
Yeah,
guy's
that's
pepperoni.
kind of surprising now that I'm talking through.
So just to be clear, they're not pizza makers.
No.
Okay, they are businessmen.
Well, one of the guys is a chef who was a vegan chef, and then his restaurant closed in 2021.
Yes.
And the other guy is just a business guy. And I think they got some funding from business guys. So, there was this whole thing, especially in the early COVID era when loans were cheap, that people were convinced that plant-based products were like Uber. They were like a growth industry that you could sink a lot of money into, and they would just revolutionize the world, and you'd make a whole bunch of money. And the past year or two has been for example, crashing and burning, and everyone being like, that was a fucking failure, including Beyond was the most famous one. But everyone being like, that was our failure. Why did we do that? We lost all our money and blah, blah, blah. So I think that this is one of those examples. It doesn't seem like they, knock on wood, they overshot, although they're selling for $22. So who knows how their finances are doing. But it feels like they're going to still keep going.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would love to try another piece. I really think that's quite good.
Okay.
I have to be honest with you. I'm pretty dang shocked about the quality of these frozen pizzas we're eating today.
Okay.
I was not expecting these both to be as good as they are. I opened up the Faras. It looked weird frozen. I did take a picture. It had a weird fold in it, like the pizza folded in a weird way, and I think some of the toppings got lost in transit. Not my fault. I'll blame the Fara company.
Postman.
I went to the Target and got this. Boy, did I have a weird experience at that Target too. There were some guys filming content in the grocery store near the pizza section, and I was like, I'm just gonna hold this freezer door in front of my face so that I do not appear in their content or whatever that they're filming.
Were they dancing?
No, it was just filming a guy shopping.
Yeah,
maybe we should steal that idea.
That's called IRL streaming.
Really?
We can do it.
Okay.
Let's go shopping.
But I picked up this pizza in person, and I was like, when I saw that they had all the other varieties, and when I was like, they're kind of disgracing the dude's legacy. It seems like they're doing a little bit of a cash in, but I'm like, the pizza's it's pretty good. I can't say I'm blown away by it. I can't say give it a 10. I'm honestly more blown away by the vegan pizza.
Really?
Than I am with the Fara's pizza.
Just because you have
a lower standard.
As you should.
Yes.
Vegan pizzas are pretty much trash. This is the best one.
It's quite good. I'm into it.
Mm-hmm. And there's a reason why this is the one that I do go out of my way to buy when I see it. But
I mean, if you see it for cheaper at a grocery store, would you stock up off?
Oh yeah, 100. Well, not stock up, but I'd buy a couple. If I saw it for $10, I'd buy maybe 2.
Yeah, I do keep frozen pizzas on hand very often because it's a fun thing. I don't think she's gonna like if I tell this story, and she does listen to every episode. I bought this from my partner. This was a weird collaboration thing that I bought a long time ago. Has not gotten eaten yet, but been talking a lot about frozen pizzas. I don't want to eat it. The Cheez-It crust pizza. Have you seen this? Where it's a square pizza and the crust is like a giant Cheez-It kind of thing.
No, but tell me about it.
I haven't eaten it. But Cheez-It's been doing collabos with a lot of people, as we were talking about, that very niche collabo thing. People got to try this thing. It's a Cheez-It branded frozen pizza. It's a big square that looks like it's a, pizza-sized Cheez-It with pizza on it. It's really cheap. They were on Remainder to Grocery Outlet. Cheez-It did team up with Taco Bell for a Cheez-It Crunch Wrap or something
I think people liked it. They had a big Cheez-It in the middle of it.
Exactly. So this is an even bigger Cheez-It with pizza on it.
Oh, okay.
So it's
I just thought it was going to be crust that was coated in.
Oh no, it's it looks like a Cheez-It. But again, I haven't eaten it. It's been in our freezer for a long time, along with another frozen pizza for me to eat when it comes time for us to come home exhausted from some kind of event and be like, we can't cook. We just need a frozen pizza.
The vegan version of that is Morningstar did a collaboration with Pringles
Okay.
to make Pringles coated chicken fries. They're all vegan. Yeah, not very good. I did try them.
Okay.
Not very good.
I don't think I want Pringles coating on stuff, I would say.
Yeah. No, I don't think that's not what people think of for Pringles.
I do like to joke that whenever I talk about like French fries at a place, I'm like, it's like a vegan version of chicken fries.
It's funny, Joe.
So, I guess I want to like, we're going to talk more about pizzas because like I'm obsessed with the Rouse situation, which whenever we talk with guests and I consistently been putting the Rouse brand on our list of stuff to talk about because I'm really excited to talk about it. Rouse has a restaurant, the original's in New York and their Los Angeles restaurant just closed.
Oh, really?
Which because it was a unique New York restaurant that expanded very rapidly and very broadly into grocery stores and with other restaurants, and is now starting to contract. And I'd love to take a look at Paul Newman's pizzas as well. I don't think Paul Newman, but just as a man, I mean, he was making a lot of those when he was.
We should do a Newman's episode.
Yes, we will definitely do a Newman's episode.
Yeah.
This is not our last episode about frozen pizza, but I really think that this was like a fun journey down a particular few branches of the pizza tree.
So, for $10, would you buy another DeFara's pizza?
I think so. I would try the meat one. I would try the whole range of them. And as I was saying, like, despite the disgusting Cheez-It one, the way we use frozen pizzas in the house is like, when my partner's gone, I have a tendency to get overwhelmed when she visits Australia for several weeks, or her job was sending her around the world for a while. And I'm like, okay, I've got to make dog food and go to the dog park and finish this article and do this zine and draw, 6 panels of a comic strip and go to work. And I'm like, I just want to eat a frozen pizza and like I'll zhuzh it up with, some shishitos or a mushroom or some Calabrian chili oil. And that's easy enough. So we do I keep those on hand for like, oh, we went to this party and there was no actual food and now we need to eat food. So if I was at a Target, I would buy a couple of these and like have these in the freezer as a like go-to. Also, it's a little less sodium than a DiGiorno. Like it feels a little fancier and it will probably give me like less heartburn and have me up in the middle of the night drinking glasses of water a little bit less, if that makes sense.
I gotta say, I mean, I only tried the crust, but I was very impressed with it. So, I don't know.
Yeah. Maybe I can't imagine the legacy is like secure. I mean, there's always a possibility for a couple generations down the line, you get a Colonel Anthony Sanders talking shit on Instagram. You are going to look that guy up.
Oh, no.
Not right now.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, yeah. 100%.
I'm obsessed with him. He's my favorite, and some of the worst cooking videos of all. We could talk about him as maybe a podcast guest. I bet he'd join us, but
really?
I feel like he might. He's just trying to get people. He's trying to get the follower count and stuff. And he's like the way he's like putting himself out there.
Let's get him on.
Okay, maybe we'll talk about it. But anything else we want to hit with the pizza? Oh, well, I've got some nerdy shit, but we don't need to do all the nerdy shit.
What's the nerdy shit?
That's about like legacy and stuff like that. There was a big article in the New York Times this week that I thought was relevant to the DeFara's like legacy thing. There's an artist, Mike Disfarmer, who's a famous photographer of like old timey stuff. In fact, he's like notorious about old timey photos in a way where when you think of an old timey photo, you might be thinking of his work in particular. And he was a unknown photographer in his day. He distanced himself from his family and like changed his name, and he would just go around taking photos of people and selling. Oh, I'll take a photo of you and print it for you and give it to you for a nickel. And so people would have them in their scrapbooks and on their wall, and they're just like what you think of as an old timey photo, like the husband and wife standing there, maybe with a short smile, or a father and son like butchering an elk or something like that, or like people in their yards in their yard clothes, just kind of posing for a photo. And his work was forgotten and then discovered in like the 70s and 80s, and people were like went out of their way to find it and locate it and like archive it and preserve it and restore it in a lot of instances. And he like in his biography, he's like a weird guy, and he changed his name so that he had nothing to do with his family. He had like no heirs, and nowadays like the heirs are kind of coming back and saying, well, you're making a lot of money off of this stuff. Like, why should we're his heirs. Like, we should have this right to it. There's like one legal firm that's actually doing this with a few other artists. Henry Darger. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Henry, you know him? He's pretty famous. Yeah, the Darger girls, like he drew all of these murals, and then there was a
He's just ripping off Chinese art.
Henry Darger.
Yeah.
Okay. Considered to be, 20th century master.
Yeah.
But these are other artists whose work was like forgotten. They had no heirs. They were not members. They didn't will anything to their family. And then other people discovered the art, 20, 30 years later and have made it a thing. And now the family, there's like one law firm that's working with the family to like take back the legacy and like have the rights to manage the legacy. So this article was about like, who does that legacy belong to if they didn't leave the will and were estranged from the family? Like, and it was just interesting because like one of the family members of Farmer who was like trying to get the rights back, he's like, well, yeah, I thought we could open up like a little store where people could dress up in old timey clothes and take old timey photos. And I'm like, well, so I don't know if that's exactly the specific legacy that he would have hoped for his art. So I don't know. It's interesting that the DeFara or the DeMarco family is doing what they're doing with the DeFara brand and with Dom's legacy. I don't think they're mishandling it, but I always am interested in how family is handling, legacy.
Yeah, I mean, it is an endlessly confusing and fascinating question because, like, on some level, it feels like the idea of public domain has been lost in the past 60 years.
Yes.
When it used to be like, oh, the person died, and then it just becomes, and then it was like they died plus, 30 years, and then, the whole Mickey Mouse sort of a thing. But, yeah, I don't know. On some level, you want an artist to be remunerated for their work, and you want their, immediate family to not be destitute, right? If that was like life's work. But then when it goes beyond that and it goes to just random people who barely even knew the guy, if at all, like that's when there's no, like, come on, what are we doing here?
I know. I mean, again, that's why I'm partly obsessed with Colonel Anthony Sanders, the grand nephew of Colonel Harlan Sanders, and like I think of like it's in the '90s where they got Fred Astaire dancing with a fucking vacuum cleaner, and his heirs are like, I don't know. I don't care if my great grandpa use the footage of him dancing with a vacuum cleaner. Do I get paid?
Yeah,
it's like, and again with AI and everything coming in, like I think these issues are going to be cloudier and cloudier, and I don't have any confidence that they're going to be resolved in any realistic fashion.
No, it's going to get messier and messier.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, but for right now, thumbs up to the DeFara pizza, thumbs up to the Blackbird pizza, and yeah, anything else we want to add? Might as well.
I don't want to get too deep into it.
Let's do it. We got time.
Too dark, but pretty much everybody gets, at least this guy doesn't have any horrible stories that have come out about him.
Because we're talking about this right when the New York Times posted a big expose about Cesar Chavez.
Yeah, and it just feels like legacy is also tarnished by just creepy or horrible stuff that the person may or may not have done or written about or said, and in a weird way, it's like the idea of lionizing, of loving these people, of preserving the legacy in and of itself is a problem. But
I don't disagree. I mean, like, Dom was, and again, it maybe goes back to that 10,000 hours thing. Like, he's the guy that made pizza for 60 years, and that's why his pizza was good. And I'm sure the recipe was great, and he cared about his ingredients, and you can try and replicate that on the grander scale and pass that done. But it's like, no, it's just his pizza. He was like just
Yeah.
That's that one-time thing. Jiro is going to dream of sushi.
Maybe
but
we
that-
can just remember the pizza that we enjoyed.
Absolutely.
And move on and let someone else make some good pizza.
I think nostalgia is poison. I've said that a million times on this show. But like, Dom is gone and his pizza is gone. But the DeFaras makes a good frozen pizza.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. All right. Is that going to do it for us? All right. Well, this has been another episode of Clean Up on Aisle podcast. Thanks for joining me on my New York pizza date, Adam.
Thank you, Jeff.